All right. Good morning. Welcome. Hope you guys had a good week. Let's go ahead. We will get started in this heat. Okay. So here we go. Just started in a cross-legged position is perfect. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders down and back, lifting up through that chest. You need to give it a couple of shoulder rolls, a couple of neck rolls. Just kind of get situated. You can. Really, I think sitting tall, lifting through the chest, shoulders are relaxing down. Those shoulder blades are pulling just down and together in the back. Doesn't have to be super rigid or tense, but just a nice, good posture. Core is tight. You don't want to be leaning too far forward, too far back, just nice and neutral. And then just take a big breath in through the nose and exhale it out through the nose. Again, big breath in and out. Again, in, filling into that lowest part of the lungs and feeling that breath move up the spine, allowing you to sit a little bit taller. And just exhale it out nice and slow. You'll feel yourself grounded to the mat a little bit more on that exhale. Just continuing that breath on your own a few more times. Good. Now, leaking those eyes open, let's do some neck rolls. So dropping that left ear over to that left shoulder. And we'll slowly start to bring that chin to the chest. And then we'll bring that right ear over to that right shoulder. And bring that chin back to the chest. And let's go over to the left side. Chin to the chest, over to that right side. Back to the chin down. And then we'll go over to the other side. We'll go last one each position. Chin to the chest. And then over to that other side. And lifting the head up. Let's reach those arms up overhead. Let's find a twist over to that right side. Left hand comes across that knee. Right hand just plants the base of the tailbone. Sit up really tall on that inhale. Exhale, look over that shoulder as we find a little bit more twist. And bring it back to center, reaching those arms up. Exhale, again, twisting it over to the left side. Inhale, bring it back to center, reach those arms up. And we'll twist it over to that right side. Inhaling, just that right arm up, and then big side stretch over. So when we have this hand on our knees, you can kind of lean a little bit more and we can get a little deeper stretch with that. Our left hand supporting us. And then we'll bring it back up and twist it over to that left side. And that right hand stays on the knee. Left arm reaches up, big side stretch. And then inhale, both arms up. Let's slide those hands forward into that hip stretch so those hips are grounding down. Flatten out through that back, and then walk those hands forward. And then let's walk those hands back. Let's switch that cross of the legs. And then we'll reach those arms up overhead. Let's twist it over to the left side to start. Sit really tall. Exhale, just look over that shoulder. Inhale, we'll bring it back up and twist it to the other side. Inhale, bring it back up. Again, twisting it back to the left side. Now we're going to keep that right hand right to where it's at. Left arm reaches up and over, side bend. And bring those arms back up, twisting it over to that right side. That right arm reaches up and side bend. Reaching those arms up and slide those hands forward. And then walking those hands back. Let's come onto those hands and knees. Step it straight back to our plank. Let's hold it for 5, 4 strong. Gripping those fingertips into the mat. Hands pull back, toes are pulling forward. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Sending those hips up and back into that downward facing dog. So take a minute, pedal those feet, sway those hips, whatever you need. Really lift that tailbone up and press those heels down. And now let's inhale on those toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet up to the top of your mat. Sliding the hands to mid-shin, flatten out that back. And then we'll slide those hands back down as we fold. Just let the head and the arms hang heavy. Let me give that head a little shake. Yes, release that tension you might be holding in your neck. Then we'll bend into those knees. Let's flatten out that back first, and we'll rise up to standing. Reach up nice and tall. Side bend over to the right. So right arm just slides down. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, bring it back up and over to that other side. Inhale, bring it back up. Reach up tall so arms are reaching back, hips are pressing forward. And then exhale, fold. And hands to mid-shin as we find that flat back. And then plant the hands down, step the feet back to our plank, shifting the weight forward as we lower all the way onto our stomachs, pointing those toes, roll the shoulders down and back, lifting that chest up into that cobra. Okay, so the lowest part of the rib cage is on the ground. We're gonna lift those hands up, using those back muscles, pulling those elbows back, so we're activating those lower traps and lats. Soften it down, and then roll the shoulders down and back, lifting up. So again, pulling those hands back, pulling the shoulders down. Really get tall through the crown of the head. Now, if this is a little bit too aggressive for you, stay in that cobra with the lowest part of the rib cage on the mat. And one more breath. And then exhaling, we'll send those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, look forward. Stepping those feet up top of the mat. Hands to your shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, rising up to standing, reach it up tall. Side bend over to the right. Inhale it up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it up and flat back as we fold. And hands to shin or maybe the ankles this time around. Flatten the back out. And exhale, we'll plant those hands down, step those feet back to our plank. Lower all the way to the stomach, point the toes, roll the shoulders down and back. Lift those hands and pull those elbows back. Soften it down, and we'll lift up, maybe same spot, or you can lift it up into that up dog. Then exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And now let's come onto the toes. Bend those knees, look forward. Step those feet top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. And exhale, fold. Bend those knees, flatten that back, rise up. Side bend to the right. Inhale, reach it up to the left. Inhale, bring it back up and fold. Flatten that back out on the inhale. And exhale, plant the hands, step those feet back to our plank. We'll lower. Inhale, lift that chest up, lift the hands, pulling the elbows back. Soften it down. Now lift it up into that up dog. And exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And now inhale on those toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet top of the mat. We'll bring those big toes together to touch. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach up tall. Sink those hips down into that chair. So relax those shoulders down, core is tight. Sit a little lower. Then bring those hands to heart center. Twist it over to that right side. We'll come back to center. Twist it to that left side. Bring it back to center. Reach those arms forward and up. And then straighten those legs as we fold. And now from here, stay on those fingertips. Flatten out that back. So to get that flat back, you might have to bend those knees a little bit more. Now from here, we're going to lift that left leg up, pressing through that heel. Now curl that knee into the nose, a little rounding through the spine. Inhale, press that leg out, flatten out through that back. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. One more time, curl it in. Reach it back out. Big step back with the left foot. And then lower that back knee down. Inhaling those arms overhead, core tight. Rib cage pulls down. Ooh, finding that balance. And then pressing those hips forward. Now here we want the right heel to press down and back. Left knee presses down and forward. Another breath. And now we'll twist. We're going to reach that left hand forward. Right arm reaches back. Maybe press those hips forward a little bit more. Then reverse it. Left hand up. Right hand slides down that back hamstring. And then lower those hands down. Lift that back knee up. Holding here in this low lunge. So not a lot of weight on the chest. Trying to get a little bit lighter in those fingertips. One more breath. So really active through the legs, through those feet. And then we'll step that left foot forward. Feet about hip distance apart. Flatten out through that back. So bending those knees as much as you need to. And then we're going to lift that right leg up. Pressing through that heel. Exhale, curl it in, round that spine. Inhale, press it back out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, press it out. Last time, curl that knee in. Send it back out. And then take that big step back. We'll lower that knee down. Then inhale, those arms will reach up overhead. Core tight. Press the hips forward. We're going to press into that left foot. Drop back as that right knee presses down and pulls forward. And keep that engagement or that little bit of tension through those feet, those hips. And then pressing it forward a little more. And then we'll find that twist. Right hand is going to reach forward. Left arm reaches back. Then reverse it. Right hand up. The left hand slides down that back hamstring. One more breath. And then we'll lower those hands down. Curl the back toes under. Just lift that back knee up. Hold it here. Light on those fingertips. Then bend into that back knee. Stepping those feet forward. Flatten out that back on that inhale. And exhale, fold. And now bend into the knees. Let's go ahead and rise up. And exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Twist it over to that right side. Inhale, center. Over to that left side. Bring it back to center. Reaching those arms up. And straighten those legs as we fold. And now lengthening out. So fingertips on the mat, bend those knees as much as you need to. Let's lift that left leg up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, press it out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. One more time, curl that knee in. Reach it back out. Big step back. That knee lowers down, coming into our lunge. Inhaling those arms up. And exhaling, twisting. Left hand forward, right arm will reach back. And then we'll reverse it. So left arm up, right hand slides down, finding that back heel with the gaze. We'll circle those arms down, lifting that back knee up. And then we'll bend that back knee, step that foot forward, finding that flat back, fingertips on the mat. We'll extend that right leg out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Last time, curl that knee in. Extend it back out. Big step back. Lower that knee down. Inhale, those arms will reach up. Pressing the hips forward. And then we'll twist. Right hand will reach forward. Left arm reaches back. And then we'll reverse it. Right hand up. Left hand slides down that back leg. And then lower the hands down. Lifting that back knee up off of the mat. Hold it here. And step both feet forward. Find that flat back on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend into those knees, rise up to standing. Let's interlace those fingers, point those palms up. A little more stretch through the backs of the arms as we bend it over to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it over to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. Just draw those elbows down, interlace those fingers behind the back, open up through that chest. And then we'll release those arms up and fold. Find that flat back on the inhale. And exhale, we'll plant those hands, step it back to our plank, moving through vinyasa. And exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Another breath or two here in our down dog. Let's bring our right foot outside of our right hand. Back knee lowers down. Hips are pressing forward. You can turn those right toes out just a few degrees. Then we're going to twist, reaching that right arm up. Now here, option, start to bend that back knee. Maybe we find that foot. So if we do find it, we want to grab onto that pinky toe side of the foot. Thumb is up, okay? So we're opening up through that shoulder too. So maybe a little bit of a shoulder stretch as well. Keeping that knee tracking in that nice straight line. Toes are pointing up, putting a little bit of pressure. Keep pressing your foot into your hand. Keep that core tight. Gonna go ahead and release it. And straighten that front leg, pulling those toes back, half splits. Let's rebend into that knee. Lower down onto those forearms. Chest is pulling forward. Nice flat back. Now again, if the forearms are a little bit too far away, you can always stay on those hands. And come back to those hands. Step it back to our down dog. And we'll go the other side. We'll step that left foot outside that left hand. Back knee will lower down. Coming into that twist, and then option to start to reach for that foot. We want the toes pointing straight up. That core is tight. And then go ahead and release that foot if you have it. Straighten that front leg, pull the toes back. And then we bend into that knee. Let's lower onto those forearms if it's accessible today. And this side could feel completely different. Maybe better, maybe worse. That's all right. Imbalances on the left and the right is pretty common. Just to notice them, and then maybe you spend a little bit more time strengthening or stretching, whatever it might need. And then we'll come back to the hands. Stepping it back to our down dog. Really lift the heels, or no, lift the hips to the sky. Heels press down towards the mat, flexing those quads. And let's lower those knees down. Let's come into a seat. Pause for a few breaths here. So sit up tall. Hands on your knees, shoulders relax down. Couple breaths to close out this practice. Big breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. And then blinking those eyes open. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great Saturday, a great weekend, and I will see you all back here on Monday.